Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? It's Matt here from YoVideogames. It's the week before E3 and we are getting a crap ton of big announcements already. Now, usually it seems that companies sort of trickle stuff out throughout May leading up to E3, kind of like, once a day, once every other day. But for some reason, things got real slow, and then we're a week before E3, Monday before the show, which starts Tuesday next week, and bam, everyone starts announcing fucking everything. So that's pretty crazy. We got all kinds of stuff. We got Watch Dogs 2, who cares? We got a teaser for Battlefield 1, whatever. I mean, you got other crazy shit like Final Fantasy 12 and a new game from Volition, the Saints Row guys, and fuck all that, because we got our first trailer for Yooka Laylee. Now, I'm biased as fuck towards this. I'm going to be honest about that right now. I donated a pretty good chunk of money into this game. It's the game I've wanted for like 16 fucking years. So, yeah, I'm happy for all the other, game announcements and whatever, but right now, we don't have time to talk Yooka Laylee. Now, some raw data. It is not coming this year. I pretty much said this. I've said this on our live gaming talk show, which you can check out at twitch.tv/funkmachine on Thursday evenings. Won't be having it this week, though. I've been saying it probably elsewhere as well. I knew Yooka Laylee and Bloodstained were not coming out this year. Like, that was their projected release date. That's not happening. It's Q1 2017 right now, so that's really not a huge delay. It's, a few months maybe. Like, we're looking at it now. It could be about 9 months till the game's released from now. At most, like say it's March. So there's that. Another thing that's interesting that we learned raw data-wise is that the core game is being built on PC and Wii U. That is the base model system for the game. And in fact, Playtonic is only working on the PC and Wii U build of the game. They actually announced that they have a partnership with Team 17. And they are going to be the ones who are releasing the game for the other consoles. So PS4 and Xbox One will be ported over from the Wii U build. So the Wii U is basically the main system it's being made for. Playtonic's kind of rationalized this as well. Most of our backers were for the Wii U version, and it's kind of like in our heritage. Yeah, I get it. And it's better if you aren't even doing a Wii U version, because that's obviously the weakest fucking system, and it's better to max it out on that, because you can port from that to the other ones. It would really suck if they made it, we're focusing on PS4 and then we gotta try to downgrade it to fit on a Wii U. So I'm glad for that. And again, it's a small team. We're talking like 20 people, and that's grown from when the Kickstarter began, and it's a very small team of people making this title, but it's coming together. So first things first. As far as the trailer goes, my initial impression is kind of like, 3D platformers aren't really trailer material. That's the thing. It's like, I felt something off, like, I'm not super excited for this trailer as I would be for a lot of other trailers. It's not because the game looks bad. No. It's because it's a game. It's a video game as video game. It's something that you don't really watch a few 10 seconds or less montage of clips and really get a feel for it. What you get a better feel for it is if you're playing it yourself, which we're going to get a toy box demo mode, basically a debug kit sort of thing. Not really a debug kit, but basically just a bunch of random assortment of objects so you can play a level of the game in July. I'm getting that. I'm one of those backers. But yeah, it's a 3D platformer that's a video game. It's not something that's going to have some sort of Lord of the Rings, Star Wars-esque quality to its trailer, where you can really kind of sell it with all these cinematics and all kinds of other gooey horse shit. It's a game. So thinking about it, if you can't play it, the best thing would be to show raw, uninterrupted gameplay, which we're not getting. There is some other footage out there. I'll try to put it in this video of longer cuts of basically what's in the trailer. So I'll try to point that out. But yeah, when I saw the longer cuts, I was like, okay, yeah, now I'm starting to I feel it more, or what I was hoping to feel. So that being said, okay, let's ignore the fact that it's a trailer and it's all a bunch of cut up stuff. How's it looking? Well, my biggest concern with the game originally was that I didn't really like the sort of block design look to the world, and it's still kind of there, but they've definitely rounded out the edges, made it look a little bit more organic. It's not going for that sort of storybook look, painted look. It's going definitely video game, but they've done some really smart things. The So we see a lot of the jungle level. We only see a very tiny taste of the ice level, which I actually, crazily enough, I actually like the ice levels look right now more. But in the jungle level, in the distance and below the floating islands, you actually see other mountain ranges, like tropical mountain ranges in the distance. And if you look below, you actually see just tree canopy. So they're doing more for this game than, say, Mario 3D World did, which was like 3D blocks floating in space, or just in random, undefined sky. So they're actually doing smart things about it that makes the world feel cohesive. Like, hey, it actually takes place in a fucking, actual land or planet or something. So I actually really like that. It's something that kind of bugs me about the new Mario games, the 3D Mario games, 3D Land, 3D World, where it feels like I'm just playing a debug mode. I'm not really playing a level. Like, it's a level, and it's designed very well, but it's got nothing that makes it feel like it belongs to a cohesive, thought out world. So that being said, I like what they're doing with Yooka Laylee. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but again, this is a small ass team. It's running on Unity engine, which is actually bugging a lot of people. And if I ever get a chance to ever talk to these guys, maybe at E3 or whatever, it's definitely something I would ask them about. Like, hey, how do you feel about Unity? How do you feel about, like, Chris? Because a lot of people really want them to do Unreal 4. Unreal 4 would not have worked on Wii U though, so it would have had to have been Unreal 3 if they went with Unreal, which might have been good, but I don't know of any major platformers that use Unreal Engine. I don't know, maybe some of the Sly Coopers or the Ratchet and Clanks used Unreal, but I don't know. So I actually, who knows? Maybe Unreal would have been just as good or bad for 3D platformers as Unity. Now I know Unity kind of gets, I think Unity probably gets some fears, justifiably so, because there's been a lot of indie games that are made from more amateur developers, and they don't really come out as well. And the big question right now is frame rate. Will the game chug and choke a lot? Even if it does, then that's really that just seems more like an N64 3D platformer if it has a shitty frame rate. But again, we are 9 months out. I mean, that is a long time in game development time. And again, the stages look pretty far along. So at this point, polish is probably what it's mostly going for, and I'm guarantee you, these are veterans of the video game industry. These are veterans of the genre. They know when the frame rate's not, going to be perfect. So they can tell, I'm sure, if there's a problem with the chunkiness of it, and I'm sure they're going to spend some time ironing it out. They got, an entire fucking pregnancy term to figure this shit out, and I'm sure they're well aware of it. So I'm actually not really too concerned about that. We've only seen 2 levels. There's an underwater segment, which I'm not sure if that's a different level or if it's just part of one of the jungle, maybe part of the jungle level or not, but we'll see. I'm really hoping that if there has to be an industrial level, it's probably like 1. I imagine so, because the main boss is like that big corporate executive asshole bee. So I'm sure he's got an industrial level, like a Grunty Industries type of level, so not too worried about that. Now, one thing we can see from the trailer is that we can see that there is transformations like Banjo-Kazooie, although instead of animals, this one's this freakish plant thing, which, boy, does that remind me of Cameo. And I know Cameo's one of Cameo's head artists is working on the game, so no real surprise there. I'm not upset about it or anything. I just was like, whoa, I was kind of expecting an animal, but that's cool. So they're actually not focusing on anything in particular. They're actually going to try to surprise you, and that definitely surprised me. Like Banjo-Tooie, where you could take Kazooie out of the backpack and use her as a gun, or really just if you did the duck with the Z and then press the C forward or C back when Kazooie would shoot eggs out, cough eggs or fart eggs. There's definitely something to Yooka where he can spit fire, he can spit ice, he can do other things. When you notice that the sort of quills or whatever the hell it is on the back of his head, they're color coded to whatever he has. So they're like orange when he's spitting fire, they're light blue when he spits ice balls, they're purple when he does that weird like shield barrier thing. So interesting thing there. It's a cool little nod. It's something that a good game developer would put in, like, hey, even when you're not using the object, you can see what ammo type you're running in your head right now. The other thing that's got me really excited about Yooka Laylee, and they talk about this in a lot of the interviews that have gone out today, is that they have this option of either taking the pages, which is your jiggies, and either using that to unlock new levels, or you can expand the levels that you're in already. So there's actually this idea that you get a big level, And then if you do stuff in the level, you can actually make the level bigger. You can unlock more of the level, make it longer. So that's actually really fucking cool. So it's like, hey, if I don't really like this level very much, I'll just do the core base, problems or whatever, get the core base pages, and then I'll use that to expand the levels I really like and make them bigger and longer. I actually really like that idea. If it pans out, it could be really fucking cool. So I really hope that really works out for them. I really like the idea of like, I'm going to make the levels I really like longer, and then I'm going to probably not focus so much on the levels that I don't like. But again, if you're going for 100% completion, then I'm going to have to make everything completely unlocked, which will be fun in its own right. So that's pretty cool. And otherwise, the other things that they haven't really talked about too much of other stuff in the game. I mean, it looks like you've got quills and you've got other knickknacks and doodads to collect. Again, this is what I want in a platformer. Some people got a little annoyed at 3D platformers when they're like, oh, there's just a collect-a-thon. It's like, well, yeah, that's what you do in games. It's like saying all you do is shoot people in a first-person shooter. Like, well, yeah, that's the point. So for me, it's nice to see that there definitely is an audience and I'm not alone on this hill about like, I just want to explore and collect shit in a 3D platformer. So I'm happy that it's all coming together like that. We got a little bit of new music by Grant Kirkhope. It's just very upbeat. It sounds very, honestly, it sounds very Looney Tunes-ish to me, like a very, like when the shit hits the fan moment in like a Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck or even a Tom and Jerry cartoon. I'm actually really excited to hear more of Grant and David's more atmospheric themes, level themes. That's what I really want to hear. Not that I dislike anything that I've heard so far in the trailer, but hey, I really can't wait to hear more of Grant's Ice World, more of the jungle level, more of the challenges, which I think is mostly David Wise is doing like minigame stuff and other stuff. But everything they've done so far has been really good. So I'm not really worried about that. At the end, we got a funny little tease at the end of the trailer where Yooka and Laylee start making fun of video games in general with brown levels, and they take a fucking pot shot at nuts and bolts because that was a terrible idea. What's interesting is that there's a bunch of in-jokes on the beach towels they're laying around, and if you'll notice, there's a goddamn jiggy piece in Yooka or Laylee's whatever Long Island iced tea tropical pina colada thing they got. So I love the fact that Playtonic is basically self-aware of we are a lot of rare people. We are making a game that was very much beloved from the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s heyday. And this so far it looks exactly like what we want. So I really, at this point, the trailer's really cool and nice, but my God, it doesn't satisfy me enough as much as playing it would, because now I'm being selfish, I'm being greedy, and I just want to play the fucking thing now. That's what I want more than anything right now, is I just want to fucking play it. That's all the trailer does for me, is just it teases me. So, and I guess in a way that's actually a great thing, because a lot of games it's like, oh, The Last Guardian comes out and it looks amazing, the trailer was so good, I love the trailer, I'll watch the trailer all the time, but I don't want to play Last Guardian. Like, I don't want to play a demo of Last Guardian. I want to play the full fucking thing of Last Guardian, you know what I mean? With this game, I want to play it now. I want to play it even in an unfinished state. Like, I don't want to see footage of it. I want to experience of it. I want to play it and all that shit. So, I don't know. That's just me. A little bit of a ramble there. So, let me know what you guys think of Yooka Laylee in the comments below, and let me know what else you're looking forward to at E3. So I'll catch you later on the channel. Later, dudes!